Hey guys, welcome back to Haunted Cerebral Astrology. I'm David. I'm going to do another electional astrology video. Look at a few charts. They're not particularly, they're kind of interesting. They're kind of off the wall a little bit, some of them, but let's see how they go. Also, in case you don't know what electional astrology is, it's a branch of astrology that you choose specific times and dates based on the positions of the planets at any given time to choose like lucky or auspicious timings to initiate any kinds of events or vocations or any kind of ventures or anything like that. So it can be all sorts of things from starting a new game campaign to setting up your football match to writing your book to releasing a newsletter to anything like that. And I like to do these to set little deadlines for myself to have fun. And I find it more of a fun part of astrology. So yeah, and thanks everyone always for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you want to book a consultation with me or get in touch about setting up an electional chart for any sort of venture you're planning in the future, contact info is down below. So let's just share the screen now and we can look at the charts that I have here. Okay, I think this is actually not the first chart that I had. Right. Okay, so the first chart is on the 16th. And most of these charts are going to be from where I'm located in the world, which is Berlin, Germany. But you can just adjust the chart to really wherever you are, as long as it has that ascendant in Libra, with the moon in that trine to Saturn, because that was the main thing I wanted to get in this chart, was the moon's trine to Saturn. So let me see, let's go up the top with this chart, what I have written down here. So yeah, like I said, ascendant's at 4 degrees, 36 minutes of Libra, with the moon applying to conjunction with the ascendant. Moon isn't above the ascendant yet, so it's unseen yet. So maybe whatever you initiate may take time before it shows itself on some level. The ascendant and the moon are in a applying trine to Saturn, which is in the 5th house of creativity, having fun, also enjoying pleasures of some kind. So there could be some more self-control over hedonism of some kind, whatever kind of adventure you're going into, or it could be something where you can kind of play with the corrupting qualities of Saturn, since Libra is also the exaltation of Saturn. And maybe there's a way of using Saturn's contemplativeness in a creative way to kind of take apart something to do something interesting with it. The ascendant and the moon are also in a square to Mercury in the 10th house, which is applying to a conjunction with the MC. So if there's any kind of communication you want to do that comes from a lunar quality, so a bit more emotionally based, and want to be more sensitive on some sort of sensitive topic of some kind, that could be a good way to initiate that. What else? Also, the MC is in a sign-based trine to Jupiter, which is in the 6th. So it's also sign-based trine. It's not exact, it's not engaging, it's not applying or anything. But it's in a trine with the greater benefic, who's still in domicile. So most of these charts this week, I'm trying to still make use of Jupiter on some level, but also I'm focusing a bit more on the moon. And with Jupiter in the 6th, it could be like work related on some level. So this could be a creative work related thing, something where you want to do something for a long-term goals of some kind, something that works out, something that's kind of lucky, but also career based on some level, some sort of message or exchange of some kind that gives you like some sort of good emotional feeling on some level. What else? So Lord, yeah, oh yeah, the Lord of the moon is Venus. Venus is in a fortunate place in the 11th, so that's good. Moon is also in the bounds of Mercury. So again, just connecting Mercury and the moon a little bit more. And Mercury is in Cancer, so there isn't this like dignity exchange. I'm not going to say like, oh, he's in the bounds and that planet's in the domicile of another planet. I'm not going to say that, but Mercury is doing something by being the one who sets the parameters in which the moon is able to manifest things. So being in the first, that's going to be about you. How are you able, physically able to manifest things? And Mercury's going to have a say in that. And Mercury being in the moon sign, your thoughts and the way that you're emotionally kind of working through this, whatever sort of thing you're trying to initiate, will be in tune with each other on some level. Mercury is also in mutual reception in the bounds of Venus. So then there's this connection between Mercury and Venus, and then the ascendant's in a Venus ruled sign. So on some level, there's this connection to Venus, Mercury, and the moon. So that's a good combination to have, even if it's not straightforward dignity. I'm not crossing dignity here. I'm just saying that there is a conversation happening between these three planets in whatever kind of venture you want to do. So there is a good flow to things. Maybe it's not completely straightforward. This chart is not going to be the one where you want to like start your big business maybe or something like that, but it is something to work with. Not only also Saturn's in the bounds of Venus. So there is this kind of neighboring quality to what, like I think what it said is if the planets are in the same bounds as each other, there's something about them being neighbors with one another. I mean, that's more, I think if they're co-present with one another, but by having some of the planets in the same bounds with one another, Venus is going to just have a little bit more wiggle room to steer some direction. And because it's the ascendant ruler, it's going to be you, whoever you are, you're going to have a little bit more control over the way that things work on some level. And then last thing that I thought was nice is that the lot of fortune is in applying engagement, inferior trine to Venus. So Venus has a lot to do in this chart, but Venus is in a pretty good position being in the 11th. And, you could have some luck with whatever kind of venture you want to participate in. The things I wrote down here is maybe do something creative, career-oriented, good for gathering benefactors, and maybe lucky and busy on some level. Like whatever the busyness is, you're going to be having flow and luck to it on some level. So that would be my suggestion. Okay, so let's go on to the next chart. The next chart is going to be, okay, yeah, I'll do it this way. So the next chart's going to be in Berlin as well. And this time it's going to be around 11:23 p.m. in Berlin, Germany. But wherever you are, as long as the ascendant is in Aries, roughly around the 0 degree marker here. Basically, I just wanted to get the MC there at 0 degrees. And what else is going on here? There's not too much going on in this chart. I wanted to make use of this moon trine to Jupiter. This time I wanted to make use of moon trine to Jupiter. The next chart I'm going to show uses it too as well. But what's also cool is the ascendant ruler, which is Mars, which is still in this flowing apart conjunction with Venus, at least with the ascendant being Mars's ruled sign. There's going to be some mitigation to some of the beneficence that Venus can give as well. And we're in the joy of Venus in the 5th. So Venus is going to have a little bit more wiggle room to do things and to be more creative, be more playful, have a little bit more fun. This could be like a chart that's good for having fun and being a bit more exciting in the fun that you're going to have on Saturday night on some level. If you're here in Germany or wherever you are, whatever you're doing at whatever time, it could be a little bit more playful for Venetian type endeavors. What else do I have? Oh yeah, a lot of fortune isn't, again, in this applying trine to Venus in the 9th house. So maybe something where you're doing something with people that are speaking different languages from you, or you're trying to be more creative about things that are from foreign places or foreign peoples on some level, or something where you're kind of looking at education in a different way. You're having a bit more fun with that. Could also have something to do with dreams or having to deal with governments or some level. I mean, with the MC in Capricorn, maybe, which is Saturn ruled sign, could be a way in which you get some luckiness with taxes or with government dealings, especially with that moon in the 8th on some level, and with Jupiter in the 12th. I think what's cool about this chart is like you might be able to deal with your enemies pretty well at this time. I also wrote down here, it could be a good chart for committing a robbery, but I would recommend don't do that. But some sort of like covert operation, not necessarily because it's not a Scorpio ruled sign. I think the next chart is going to be Scorpio ruled, but something where maybe you're dealing with an enemy, or requires some sort of discipline or covertness with that MC in a Saturn ruled sign. And also, the AC being in a Martian sign. So, and then moon in that trine to Jupiter in the 12th, some kind of like dealing with hidden enemies, or maybe you will be a bit less likely to self-sabotage yourself, or whatever 9th house matters are in like kind of in your rear view or in your blind spot. You're not going to have to worry about those so much. And then the last thing that was cool is the MC is in a sextile to both Jupiter and Moon. Now, Moon is in a separating trine to Jupiter, so it's carrying over some of the beneficence of Jupiter from the 12th there. So I feel like whatever kind of 8th house matter, so other people's money, or engaging with other people's issues on some level, you'll have a bit more fortune in that, but it will be more like the fortune came in already and you can kind of work with it moving forward from there. And then, MC ruler is in the 11th, so that's good too. Okay, and then let's look at the last chart, which actually I accidentally made in Toronto, Canada. I was looking at some charts from Toronto. So if you're in North America, this would be probably a better chart for you. Main point is that it's a Scorpio rising chart with, I had the ascendant there at 7 degrees 30 minutes, just because then the lot of fortune moves past that conjunction with, it's no longer adhering to Saturn. So there's a little bit of separating to that. And then also I wanted to get them MC into like an applying conjunction with Mars and Venus. And with the Mars ruled ascendant, it's going to mitigate maybe some of the big powerful actions you would take, or something kind of destroy. I wrote down here, it's like a destroy to create type of chart. I even wrote like Hitman vibes, rule breaker chart. So we have the moon ascending, and the ascendant's rising. It's above the ascendant, so it's visible. So whatever actions you take will be seen on some level. Moon is also in that applying trine to Jupiter. Jupiter's in the 5th house, so it could be lucky, could be creative, could be playful, could be erotic on some level. Again, with that other chart too, I think with the 5th house, all these charts have planets doing something in the 5th. So there could be something erotic to any of them, actually. And then what else? Oh yeah, the ascendant is also in a, the ascendant's also in a applying trine to Mercury, which I thought was cool, being in the 9th house where the sun is in its joy in the 9th. So could be something to do with divination, or having some sort of vision about what the future is going to bring, having sixth sense about things with the Scorpio ascendant there, and Scorpio's ruler in the 10th, some sort of sixth sense about your career and where it's going and what it means in the world and things like that. What else? Oh yeah, I wrote down here another kind of interesting thing. I don't really know what to do with this, but I thought it was just interesting to point out, is that the ascendant is in the first decan of Scorpio. Mars is in the third decan of Leo. These are both Mars-ruled decans. So could be something very kind of even sacred or spiritual that's done on some level, even if it is some sort of like Mars-ruled initiative action, big kind of intensive hitman type of vibe type endeavor. Maybe it's like super occult ritual you do. Could be interesting to do something that's Mars based on that level. Moon is also in the same bounds too. So Mars is going to have some sort of big impact on whatever you do with this chart. Okay, I think that's it. So that's all the charts I have for this week. Play with them, have fun with them, or do nothing with them. Whatever you do, have fun. Don't poke anybody's eyes out. Don't do anything you'll regret later. And yeah, all right, that's it for now. See you guys at the forecast. Keep coming back, and bye for now.